So Sakura, where have you been for the past year?
Wow, it's a bit of a difficult question, really.
Ask them, innit? I don't know.
Next question, please.
What went well for you this year?
Well, despite it being a very long year, I would say just overcoming every obstacle that's happened to me this year. It's been a tough year. It's been a very long year, I said that already, but it's been very tough. But I guess the fact that I'm even sitting here today is an accomplishment in itself for me personally. And I guess making it to the big 3-0, that's been very big for me. And just in general, I guess I got new things lined up next year. But yeah, I'll keep it there for, yeah, so yeah.
This year, I'd say getting closer to God was something that really went well for me. I feel like I spent a lot of time in God's presence and actually understanding like why I'm here, what God wants me to do, and how He wants to use me. So I would say that's something that really, really went well. And I think finding like proper, true peace, like, you know, regardless of the situations I've been in, things that have come, things that have gone, like just knowing that I stand on peace has been something that's really, really, really gone well for me. So yeah, that's something that makes me happy.
This year has been a year of stepping out of my comfort zone and just doing the things that I've always said I'm going to do. So for example, this year I actually started coaching people in the area of confidence, which is something that I never thought that I'd be doing because that's something I've always struggled with. But God works in mysterious ways. The areas that you struggle with are the areas that He's going to push you into. So that's what I've been working on this year. And also another thing that went really well is the fact that God sent me destiny helpers, people that I can learn from, people that I can serve with their callings and actually learn how to do certain things. And that has been honestly such a blessing. And I'm so grateful for the people that God has brought into my life this year. Because yeah, they've really been a big push into helping me to become who I am today. Yeah.
Do you know what? This is a really difficult question for me because I feel like I can have this tendency to focus more on like the negatives instead of the positives. And I have to keep reminding myself some really positive things did actually happen this year. And I feel like I came into the year on fire. Like I had a really, really good beginning to the year. And yeah, like I'm talking like credit score went up. Like I'm talking new job, financial increase, like, you know, onto what is it, my 4th degree. Like literally there are some really good things to be thankful for and grateful for. But I had a blip basically, and it's kind of overshadowed some of the positives. So it's a hard question, but I listed some of the the positive things that went well this year. So
take a look at the goals you set this year. How well did you accomplish them?
If I'm completely honest, the beginning of the year was very rocky for me. It was very shaky. I wasn't in the right frame of mind. So I didn't really set many goals. I kind of just went with the flow, which isn't always the best thing to do. But looking back at some of the things that I wrote down in terms of things that I just wanted to achieve, things that would be nice to achieve, I think the biggest thing for me this year was taking care of myself. So I did things that I haven't done in a long time, so such as traveling. I've been on 2 holidays, well 3 actually, which was amazing. Also a lot of self-care. So one of my goals was to do my nails once a month, and I've kept up with that. So yeah, I've just been taking care of myself really. That was my main goal, and I've managed to do that by the grace of God.
Not gonna lie, I didn't set any goals. If I'm honest, I'm not one to set goals. It's just vibes, which is, I guess, not necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like next year I will be setting goals, having a bit more structure, just to say like, oh yeah, I was able to accomplish this, and incorporate more of the small wins, even if it's just me waking up to go to the gym. Nothing too big, just, yeah, anything small, anything that I can accomplish, I say that's what I'll be doing next year.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real honest. I have accomplished some of my goals, actually. I set some goals that I think I accomplished like probably within the first like month of the year. Like, I started very strong, but I got overwhelmed. I got so overwhelmed. There were so many different things going on, and I actually feel like I fell off, basically. I had to stop because I was doing way too much, and I had to just settle down and like focus on what I could manage. So in that sense, I had a whole long list of goals, and a lot of them I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But I feel like I ticked off a good solid like three of them. Yeah.
Honestly, I'll be very honest, not very well. I think I came into this new year like with lots of goals. Like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to have these habits, and so on and so forth. And I think I actually meant well with them. Like, I was genuinely being honest with myself. But I think I wasn't building these goals from a happy place. So I think it was more like wishful things that I thought, okay, if I do this, I won't feel like this anymore. If I accomplish this particular thing, I won't be feeling as low or as anxious about this particular thing, if that makes sense. So I think when I started to find peace, I realised I don't actually care for this goal anymore. Like, that goal, it was more like something to gift myself, or something, you know, why am I actually striving, working hard just for that? Like, it actually doesn't mean much to me. So I feel like what's actually happened is I haven't accomplished, I don't think I can say I've accomplished a goal as such, but what I've realised is actually in order for me to accomplish goals, I need to actually have, like, I need to be mentally healthy, and I need to have peace. That way I can actually see, is this what I want to do, or is this what I want to do, if that makes sense. So, yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I haven't accomplished any goals, but I'm not mad at it either. I'm just saying, I'm not mad.
What were your obstacles?
Life, you know. Life was my obstacles, because I feel like, I don't know, I had so much expectation for this year, and I just felt like this was going to be my year. Like, this was the year that I was going to just do all the things that, you know, I had set my mind to. Things were just going to turn around for me. Things were going to change. And you know what? I feel like I had, like, I'm going to say, like, fear of success at the beginning, because things were really going so well. And like I said, I just couldn't manage it all. I couldn't balance it all. And I just had to, like, try to prioritize things. And I actually just ended up focusing on uni. I just said, let me just finish this course. Let me focus on my job, and everything else had to take a pause, including Sakura. So that kind of got in the way. And then further along down the year, yeah, life really tried to life really tried to fight me. Like, so I was out. I was in a really bad place. I was in a really dark place. And I didn't really know that if I was going to come out of it, because, yeah, it was just really hard. I just went through some really difficult things. And to be honest, to be coming to the end of 2022 and I'm in this space right now, I never expected it. So yeah, life got to me, but I feel like that's what happens. Life.
The biggest obstacle was myself. So like I said, the beginning of the year was quite rocky for me. So I really had to push myself, and it took a lot of prayer. It took my friends to really push me out of that space. And if I had remained in that space, I definitely wouldn't have done anything. So I think the biggest obstacle was probably myself at the beginning of the year.
Just like I said before, I feel like my obstacles was just how I was feeling mentally. Like, I've noticed that, you know, if I'm not feeling like the Rose that I know I should be, I I can't really do much. You know, even when I think I'm doing something, I'm not really doing it from a place of peace or happiness or just the things that make me feel like Rose. So I'd say the obstacle was my mental health, my mindset, just how I was feeling emotionally. Yeah, that's what my big obstacle was, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, nah, me, I guess my mindset, my thoughts, the way I've been thinking this year. If I'm honest, sometimes I could have those very low periods. And sometimes coming out of that is very difficult for me. But I say those were my biggest obstacles this year, but by God's grace, I was able to overcome them. Able to actually sit here and tell you about them. So I feel like that's just a testament of, even though life may get a bit long and it might be a bit of a struggle, that you can just overcome them. But it's not easy, but like I feel like, yeah, you'll be able to.
What has been your biggest personal lesson this year?
Ooh, my biggest, there's been a few. I would say my biggest one. I'd say my biggest personal lesson this year is God has the final say. So even when you think you can't do something, even when you think something is over, even when you think like there's no way you're going to ever feel good again or whatever, God actually has the final say. And I've literally seen God do things that, like, you'll watch someone else go through it and then it's like, oh my God, that was so good. God got you out of that. But sometimes you don't really believe it can happen for you. And it's not that you don't believe it can happen for you, you just kind of just don't even think about it happening to you. And I think going through what I went through, like towards the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, I've realized that God actually can change things overnight. It'll feel overnight, but it's actually been maybe weeks, months in the making. So yeah, God has the final say. It's my biggest lesson.
My biggest personal lesson, yeah, I think it has to have been with my relationship with God, you know, because I have this thing where if things don't go my way, I'm going to throw my toys out of the pram. Like, so I really felt like, you know, God was going to do certain things for me this year and it didn't happen. And I had to kind of realize that my relationship with God needs to be more than what he can do for me. He's not a genie, basically. And regardless of what he does and what he doesn't do, I need to still love him, I need to still trust him, I need to still have faith, and I need to still keep going and keep pushing. So that was like probably one of like my biggest personal lessons that I learned, that I need to still love and trust God regardless of what happens. And also that when I have setbacks in life, that you know, like I just need to keep going, because if I stopped when everything was just kind of falling apart, I wouldn't get to see that right now I'm doing so much better. And I don't know, I think there's something about accepting things, like accepting that what things are, accepting them for what they are, and just, yeah, moving forward.
Life happens. Life just happens. And I say that because this year, not even this year, for years, but this year is when it stood out to me. Like, there's always a season for everything. And I say that in terms of, like, there's a time to cry, there's a time to smile. There's good times, there's bad times, there's positives, there's negatives. And it comes with the territory of life. Like, it's all incorporated with it. And it's just about how you navigate through that. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes you can't be bothered. And for me personally, I know when I get low, I get proper low, and it's like I'm not trying to do nothing. But there's always that light. I know this is a bit cliche, but there's always that light at the end of the tunnel. And I guess I learned that because when I was at a low period, like a few days later, I got a new higher paying job. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's times where you can come out of this little funk that they call it. But yeah, I guess that's what I'll say for that.
Biggest personal lesson. I think for me, recently I came to the realization that this year I've really encountered Jehovah El Roy, the God who sees me. For a long time, I just felt overlooked. I felt like, God, are you not hearing my prayers? Like all these prayers I'm doing, the fasting, like, are you not hearing it? But it wasn't the case at all. God heard me and God saw me and he still sees me. And that's the biggest lesson for me, that despite what situation you're going through, despite what's happening in your life, when God is silent, it doesn't mean that he doesn't see you. He sees you. He sees every single thing about you because he loves and he cares so much about you. And sometimes when we pray for a shift, we're asking for an external shift, but what God is actually doing is he's doing an internal work. He's more interested in you going through the process. And for me, when I was praying for the mountain to be moved, I didn't realize that the mountain was actually my mindset. And that's the shift that God did. So yeah, God saw me. He heard my prayer. He didn't answer it the way that I wanted him to answer it, but he definitely answered it. And that's my biggest lesson for this year.
What are you looking forward to in 2023?
Honestly, I'm looking forward to thriving. I've been surviving for the past, who knows. But I'm looking forward to thriving, no more surviving. Got a few things lined up. New job. Yeah, just in general, I'll say I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to thriving and just making next year the best year it could be. And even if it doesn't, I've come to a place where I'm able to accept that. And try and understand why it's happened and not let it kind of beat me down or keep me into that space where I don't want to do anything. So acceptance and thriving. I added another one. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing more. I'm looking forward to stepping out of my comfort zone even more and doing all the things that seem scary. I'm looking forward to partnering up with God and just trusting him, even when it makes no sense, even when I don't understand it, but just trusting that he will get me through it. He will get me to where I need to be because every plan that he has for me is good.
Do you know what? I feel like someone asked me this question before and I said to them, if I'm being honest, I'm not really looking forward to 2023 because of what happened, because I came into the year so excited and I had like such a bad year. I didn't want to like put those expectations on 2023 and be disappointed. But I feel like my stance has changed a little bit, where I just want to see what happens and I just want to let things be what they are. And I've got goals again. Like I kind of gave up on my goals like halfway throughout the year, and I just didn't want to have any goals. I didn't really want to do anything. I was really low and I was in such a bad mental space. I was very depressed actually. And now I have goals. I have things that I'm looking forward to. I have things that I'm planning to do and I'm excited. I'm ready to like step out of my comfort zone. I'm ready to be bold and yeah, come for everything that's mine, everything that I deserved.
Everything. I'm actually looking forward to everything. I just feel like because I'm in a better space mentally, everything just seems exciting. I'm looking forward to the opportunities that are going to come my way. I'm looking forward to just making memories with my loved ones, spending time, traveling, just kind of like doing things that make me feel happy. So yeah, to answer the question, I'm just looking forward to everything and anything. So yeah.
Cool. Describe the type of year 2023 will be in one word.
My 2023 is going to be a year of breakthrough.
Fearless. In 2023, fear is not holding me back again. Fear is not holding me back again. I'm literally stepping out. I'm being brave. I'm going to be bold. And and I'm going to say yes to the opportunities that usually scare me. And I'm going to stop letting fear hold me back from the things that I really want and the things that I really desire.
2023 will be intentional. So I'm going to do things with intention. I'm going to move with intention. I'm going to get things done. And I mean it this time as well.
Prosperous. LCP.
What do you see Sakura doing in 2023?
I see Sakura blossoming.
Having Charlene back. No, joking. Okay, I'm not joking, but breaking boundaries. That's all I can say.
I see us being booked and busy.
Sakura is going to change the game, baby. Sakura is coming, and we're going to restore, we're going to renew, and we're going to transform and impact everyone that is going through a difficult time, everyone that's having a low period, everyone that's gone through it. We come in to help you. Period. Period.